Hi, it's Marina, the Soul Alchemist. It's time for Pick Your Own Card. Weekly guidance for the 13th through to the 19th of January. So we are heading right into the third week already. So I'm using the Akashic Oracle card deck, which is modality in a box. Why is it a modality? Because it's not just a set of cards that you can read and get guidance and insight from. It actually comes with a key that you can turn into a pendulum to activate karmic healing. And this deck also comes with a free masterclass to show you how to use the deck to get you started and also to get you activating karmic healing. So I show you the protocols to do that. So if you want any information about that deck, either drop some comments in the comments below this video or click the link in the description and you can go to my website and find out more about that. So we have an exciting week. The bonus card is all about karmic patterns, and actually that is a fundamental theme that is running through these three cards, and each of these cards, depending on what you have focused on, which I'm going to show you the cards in a minute, will kind of give you an idea of where this karmic pattern, the theme of that karmic pattern, is playing out. You may want to listen to all three. I always encourage you to do that to kind of get the full richness of this complete message, but definitely focus and listen to your particular card that you tune into. So if you want to tune into cards 1, 2, or 3, I'm going to reveal those messages, themes, and energies now. And we've also got a full moon on Tuesday, a full moon in Cancer. So as we know, full moons are fabulous for releasing anything that's not serving us. And it's the first full moon, of course, of 2025. So if there's anything that you want to release from 2024, if you are not joining me on my Akashic Cacao reset session, which is at the end of the month, it's on the 30th, then use this particular full moon to just kind of release any energies from 2024, and of course previous to that, to really help you set a really clean foundation for your 2025. And interestingly enough, a full moon features in the first card. So without further ado, let's dive in. So karmic pattern is the bonus card. So your first card, your first card is deception and betrayal. So of course we've got this big, beautiful full moon. So there is this element of releasing this week. Now it actually could relate directly to deception and betrayal. That might be something that's coming through from your past life. It might be something that you've experienced in your past. And there may be some memories around that. There may be still some unprocessed emotions, that twinge of anger or hurt from deception and betrayal. And this card, part of this card is about being able to put that in the past. So if you do find that there are bits and pieces that come up this week that you get triggered for whatever reason, you get reminded, or you actually may have been the deceiver and the betrayer, and there could be this sense of guilt and shame. This is now the time to release this. We're at the beginning of 2025. You don't want to be taking this forward. If you are finding it challenging to release that, you want to go deeper and ask yourself why. Why are you punishing yourself in not accepting whatever needs to be accepted? It's not condoning people's actions, but it's just allowing you to let it go so that you can move forward. So if you're finding it difficult to let go of something, you want to ask yourself, who is that serving? It's not doing anything for the other person because they don't even know how you're feeling. If you are, say, you have been the one that's made the mistakes, then again, when are you going to give yourself a break? Forgive yourself and just let it go. You've learned the lesson. It is time to release it. So this is what this card is saying. It's time to put things in the past and go forward, be in that beautiful full moonlight and allow yourself to be bathed in that healing light so that you can then make new choices. You can shed that old identity, shed those things that you're still holding on to, and let them go, let them be in the past. So this is what this card is calling for. So let me know how that card resonates. I would love to hear. Now, we will filter back to this card when we get to the karmic pattern theme, because there is a direct kind of like additional message that will come through, but I want to do that when we go through the bonus card. So if you've picked card 2, we've got this, and this card came up really, really recently. So we've got this spiritual connection. We've got this group of angels here. So there's definitely a call for being more open, perhaps up-leveling your spiritual connection, up-leveling the third eye, up-leveling the not the causal chakra, the ultimate major chakra, unplugging from the 3D maybe a little bit more. Your causal chakra is about here, direct connection to the Akashic records, and the 5th dimension. We're kind of going through at this point. So do you need to up-level your spiritual connection? Do you need to do some more spiritual cleansing so that your channel and your etheric chakras above your head are kind of more open and more able to have this connection to the spiritual realms? When was the last time that you sat and intentionally connected in with your spiritual team? They have messages for you. So this is what this card is saying is make time this week to really open up the third eye, open up the heart, and open up your connection to your guides, because your guides are waiting patiently, tapping their watch to say, when is she gonna, or when is he gonna make some time to actually connect? And obviously you can do that. You can do that through a meditation. You can do it through automatic writing. You can just do it through intention and ask to connect, and then just sit in silence, sit with a little bit of gentle music on in the background. You may want to do it whilst you're going out for a walk in nature, and ask for and just say, I want to connect with my guides as I'm just doing this beautiful meditative walk, and just see what messages come through. How you connect is your practice. So you need to figure out what is the best way for you to do that. For some of us, it's getting a pendulum. For some of us, it'll be sitting with a crystal, because we can get messages from crystals. I've never got messages from crystals, but I'm always in awe of people that can have conversations with crystals. That's just not my gift. So this card is saying, take some time this week to connect. There's downloads, there's messages, but there's also an up-leveling for you of these channels, of these chakras, of these access points that we have. There's an up-level ready for you, waiting, but it's not going to happen unless you actually purposely, intentionally sit down, ask for the upgrade, ask for the activation, but also ask for yourself to connect with your guides and get some messages from them, get some insights, get some answers for your questions, get some wisdom. Ask them anything and just see what comes through. And it might be that you have to keep asking a few times before you start to understand how they are communicating with you. It's not just going to be like suddenly you get this really loud, clear message, and it's like a full sentence or paragraph giving you all of the steps. This is like, we've got to figure out how to connect. We've got to tune into the frequency in the quantum field so that we can like hear the message, but it's in what way do we hear it? Do we do it through sense? Do we do it through sight? Do we do it through our ears? We do it in lots of different ways. This is why I use a pendulum, because I can ask lots of questions and get yes, no. This is why using cards, this is why cards are so good, because you're given an image that you can start to interpret, and you start to sense if that feels right or not. So get your cards out, do what you need to do, but there's definitely upgrades and messages waiting for you there. Let me know how these cards are landing. Let me know if you want to obviously get your own deck, but also if you want to have your own reading, your own session. I usually support my clients with a full package of 4 sessions per year. It's a monthly subscription, but we have a healing reading every quarter. So you get a quarterly forecast, you get some at least one Akashic block cleared, lots of healing going on in the background as well. Strategy also given. And an understanding of what those 8 cards are that we pull in that session. So it's a really affordable way for me to hold space for you in a beautiful sacred container for a whole 12 months. So let me know if you want more info on that. Okay, so if you pick card 3 as your main card, this was my main card. It's soul contracts. So what I'm sensing with this particular card is deep connections with people this week. So this could be a brand new person that's coming into your experience. It could be somebody that has been milling around on the edge and they make themselves more known this week. So you may have had a little bit of conversation with them. You may have met them once or twice, but it seems like there's more connection, more impact this week. And it also can be somebody that, it's an acquaintance, but there's a deepening of the connection this week. Essentially, what this is a deepening connection of some kind with somebody, male or female, that is going to be important. So this person is important for your soul's growth and your soul's expansion. So just take note of who this person could be. And it is a deepening of connection. So for me, when I say deepening of connection, that feels encouraging. It feels supportive. It feels interesting and inspiring. It's not a deepening of a connection because we can get growth and evolution through people that really trigger us, because they are showing us a lesson, whether we're aware of that or not. But this feels encouraging. It feels supportive. It feels like it's on the same wavelength. And so for me, there's this beautiful golden thread of similar vibration that is being threaded together to kind of, you're coming together, this deepening of connection, so that there is going to be learning from both sides, but it is a positive. It's a positive learning. It's a supportive connection. So just notice who is coming in, or there is more deeper conversation with somebody over the next 7 days, because this relates to this card. Now, obviously, if you have picked another card as your main focus, then that's okay. Just know that also can unfold for you this week as well. So let me know how these cards are resonating. We have now got the Karmic pattern card. So I'm now going to relay a slightly different message for each of these 3 cards based on that particular card. This is a karmic pattern. This is a karmic pattern that we are repeating, and it's coming up to show us that this is something that we can address, and this is something that we can disrupt, and this is something we can break. This is not going to be much of a surprise. It's boundaries. So strengthening boundaries. So where can you strengthen your boundaries? Where can you communicate your boundaries? Where do you need to set new boundaries because you've evolved? Other people maybe have evolved, and there just needs to be a recap or a tuning in to say, okay, well, this feels slightly different now, or something has released from my life, whatever it might be, and this is now the new boundary. This is now the new standard. But you know what? Not many people know it. So I actually need to communicate that to people. So this is the karmic pattern. It's about strengthening boundaries, recognizing where there is more boundaries needed. Maybe the boundary needs to be tweaked slightly, or maybe it just needs to be communicated so it can be upheld. We all like to test boundaries. We're really good at testing boundaries. But if we uphold our boundaries and the boundaries stay, then eventually people just get used to the new way of being, the new habit, the new routine, whatever it might be. And it becomes the norm. And then that way of being, standard, whatever value, is upheld and it's in place. Now, where it comes to the individual cards, strengthening boundaries, what I really picked up on was the different figures in each of these cards. And this is how I feel that this is relating. So there's just one single figure in here. So where do we need to strengthen our boundary with ourself? Ourself is probably the hardest to actually uphold a boundary. So where do we let down our own standard through our excuses? So, for instance, we want to reduce drinking, But then we have maybe a bad day at work, and it's like, oh, I'll just have one because I need to relax. And then before you know it, you've gone through the half bottle of wine, and the boundary has totally disappeared and dissolved into the bottle. And we then probably feel a little bit of guilt and a little bit of shame and annoyed that we couldn't uphold the boundary. So strengthening boundaries with yourself, that's the karmic pattern that could be broken. And we also need to understand where we allow boundaries to slip, and why is that? Who are we afraid to upset? What are we afraid of? What do we think that we're going to lose? Who do we think that we're going to like piss off if we uphold a boundary or set a boundary? We also need to think about that, because it's important that we have boundaries in place, because it's good for our energy, it's good for our well-being. We need to have that. Workplaces are quite hard to place boundaries with. Oh, can you just stay a little bit longer? Or there's an expectation that you do like a free 5 minutes at the end of your shift, and then there's people still in the shop. This used to happen all the time. And, even though the shop was closed and you would be paid till like past, customers may not go until like 10 to 6. So you've done a free 20 minutes. And then that could happen like 5 times a week. But do you say anything? Probably not, because you feel that you're going to lose your job. You're going to upset people. But that is boundaries, and that particular boundaries with other people, but boundaries with yourself. Karmic pattern for card number 2. Boundaries with a group of people. So this could be a group that you're in, a community group, an online group, and maybe there's overstepping of boundaries, or you just don't agree maybe with certain protocols that are part of that group. It might be family, family boundaries. What's the expectations that don't honor your boundaries? So how can you break the pattern there? And it could be like it's an ancestral karmic pattern around boundaries that you are able to break. You're able to recognize it and break it. So this is where this is coming through here. And then the final one for card 3, karmic pattern, it is a boundary with somebody else, an individual. So that could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a partner, it could be, a family member, one particular family member. So how can you strengthen your boundary with that particular person? So you've got your individual focus that I've shared, but then you've got your karmic pattern that then relates to each of those individual cards. So I hope that you found that useful. Use the full moon on Tuesday to help with any release work. If you want to go deeper and you want to have a one-to-one session with me in terms of Oracle empowerment packages, then let me know. If you just want to play along with me each week and get your own deck of cards, that's the guidebook that comes, the modality in a box, then click the links below and that will take you to my website and you can read more about that. So have a fabulous week. Love and blessings. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.